In this video, we will introduce how to use the Tenacity library to retry functions or code blocks in an elegant and robust way in Python. First, let's learn something about the Tenacity library at a high level before coding. Tenacity is an Apache 2.0 licensed general-purpose retrying library written in Python. It can retry on both sync and async functions. It can even retry on code blocks without a function. Finally, Tenacity has very flexible settings, and we can retry functions with custom stop, wait, and trigger conditions. To use Tenacity in your project, you need to install it as a dependency with pip, UV, or any dependency management tools. First, let's check the basic retry functionality of Tenacity. Tenacity provides a decorator called Retry, which can be added to a function to retry it if it fails to execute. By default, the function will be retried forever until it succeeds. This is not optimal in most cases. We should have more control regarding when and how to retry the function. Tenacity has a full set of retry configurations. Firstly, it allows us to specify when to stop the retries. There are two common stopping mechanisms. One is to stop when the previous attempt is greater than or equal to max_attempt. The other is to stop when the time from the first attempt exceeds the limit. As the name suggests, the stop after attempt mechanism will stop retrying after the specified attempts. This is the most commonly used mechanism for when to stop retrying a function. On the other hand, the stop after delay mechanism will stop retrying after the specified time in seconds has passed. Note that the function can still be retried many times even if it's a very short time. It's not as commonly used as the previous one. Oftentimes, we don't want to restart a function immediately after it fails, but want to wait some seconds before retries. This can be achieved with the wait_fixed option. The wait_fixed option accepts a fixed number of seconds to wait before retries. We can also use wait_random to wait for some random number of seconds. Next, let's check the mechanism to control whether or when to retry. The retry if exception type mechanism retries if an exception has been raised of one or more types, and the retry if result mechanism retries if the result verifies a predicate. Let's demonstrate it with simple examples. In this first example, the function will only be retried when an IO error is raised. And in the second example, the function will only be retried when the result is none. This is very useful in practice when the requests fail to get results from a remote server due to connection issues, which can often be solved by retrying again sometime later. If you run the examples demonstrated previously, you will see the exception of the code is shown at the beginning of the stack trace, which can be difficult to find. If you would rather see the exception your code encountered at the end of the stack trace, where it is most visible, you can set re-raise to true. It's helpful to log something when the function is retried, so we know how many times it has been retried and whether it succeeds for each retrial. We can create a custom callback function that accepts one parameter called retry_state that contains all information about current retry invocation, such as the function name being retried, the wait time, the attempt number, and the outcome. We can even log the message at different levels depending on the attempt number. The keyword argument to accept the custom callback function for logging is called before _sleep. It's named in this way as the next retry normally happens after a wait interval. With this custom callback function for logging, the details for each retry are logged, which is very useful in practice. In the previous examples, the functions are regular synchronous functions. We can use the Tenacity library to retry async functions as well. The settings are exactly the same, just that the async functions themselves are called in a different way. Rather than retrying a function, which is the most common use cases, we can also use Tenacity to retry a code block without wrapping them in a function. This is achieved with the retrying class, which is used as a context manager. As shown in this example, the attempt object is an instance of attempt manager, which contains the retry_state mentioned previously and thus contains all the metadata for the retries. In this video, we introduced how to use the Tenacity library to retry functions in Python and learn an elegant and robust way to retry functions or code blocks in Python. Tenacity has very flexible settings, and we can retry with custom stop, wait, and trigger conditions, which can be used in combo in practice to make our retry mechanisms meet our specific requirements. This is it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to my channel for more content.